So as the countdown was going, I'm like maniacally trying to get like the music lined up, and then halfway through, I'm like, wait, wrong show.
Oops.
It's one of those
Oh,
days.
Lord. I know
There
it.
we go.
Hi, everybody. It's
Hi.
Sidebar or Blindsided or whatever
In
it
the
is that
bar.
we're doing here.
In the side, up the bar.
The sidecar.
Sidecar? All right, that could work. Oh, heavens. So we have two options tonight. Option number one is you guys in the chat give us things to talk about because you're in control, or bless you, Lindsay. Or option number two, we watch Lindsay eat her dinner because that's what she was doing before the show. So it's going to be one of those
Please
two
come up with
things. You guys
questions.
choose.
I don't want to
It's
eat on
all
camera.
it's all about food, you guys. I mean, that's I can't tell you. This show is if for whatever reason Law Tube just doesn't work out, this is just going to become like a cooking show or something.
Well, let's kick that off. I was showing people before you came in, Michael, what I made for dinner last night. I think I still have that queued up. Yeah, here we go. So this is mushroom broth quinoa, Asian zucchini, red pepper, and green onion, topped with carriage beef. It was yummy.
Wow.
It was me cleaning out the
Delicioso.
refrigerator.
Nice.
So that's what we had yesterday. So there. Now
So-
we've officially satisfied the cooking segment, or we
I
can
just want to speak for
expand
the
upon
record
it.
that my dinner was nowhere near that fancy. I didn't even bother to put it on a plate. I just took the rest of the yogurt container and threw all the stuff in there.
Those are
Everyone-
the
Save it
best
on
plates.
dishes.
They're watching
Like-
me like dig into this yogurt container like a complete savage.
Like, all right, what have we got in the fridge? We got some berries, there's
Yep.
some cereal sitting over here,
Mhm.
some leftover mushrooms, raw egg.
Well,
I do
Sprinkle
have
of this,
fresh eggs
sprinkle
from
of
Depends
that.
what kind of mushrooms
So-
they are.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's true. Well, there's a certain kind of mushroom that we see often here at TCF, but I don't think that's necessarily what Lindsay had in mind for her yogurt.
Yep.
But you never know.
No. That would
All
make
right.
an interesting show, but I
It
also
would.
don't think I should be on camera if that happens. So
yes.
That is considered under the influence, I guess.
Wahoo says, I heard recently it was at one point in time bad form for a defendant to wear black in court. Wondering if that's still a thing. I
I've
don't
never
know.
heard that.
I've never heard that either.
Better than
Black
wearing
is
orange,
better.
I guess.
Yep.
Well, orange is the new black, as they
Yes.
say. So, well, let me see what I can find out there. Talk amongst yourselves for a second.
I'll
Could
give
be
you a
bad.
topic.
Could be bad if you wear like one of those black
Okay.
suit t-shirts or whatever.
If you are a lawyer or a witness, a black suit or blazer is perfectly acceptable and projects authority and formality. If you are the defendant, it is often advised to steer clear of an all black ensemble because in courtroom psychology, all black can convey a harsh, imposing, or overly authoritative presence. This is
Oh.
r/lawyer talk.
Interesting.
Hmm.
So the lawyer, yes, but the defendant, no.
Yep. Choose
Got it.
alternative dark neutrals. Navy blue or charcoal gray are universally considered the best courtroom colors.
Yeah,
Navy
color
blue, for example,
psychology.
conveys trustworthiness and credibility.
I bet that's why most judge robes are black.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because of
I
authority
use-
figure. Mm-hmm.
I use the same theories building websites. There's certain colors that you use for certain things.
Yep.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
There you go, Wahoo. There's your answer. Yes, you should not wear black if you're the defendant.
Yep.
Probably shouldn't wear orange either, but sometimes you don't have a choice.
And don't wear shorts.
Right.
Oh, unless you're in Judge Dad's court, he doesn't seem to care.
Apparently not.
People show up in shorts there all the time.
He's
All right.
It's weird. He doesn't. That's the one judge one of the judges you would think would be all over that sort of thing, but
Yeah.
No.
He probably started out like that, and now it's kind of just evolved.
probably gets tired of saying it all the time.
Probably.
So he just
Yeah.
gives up.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a question from Tot that she submitted like 5 or 6 weeks ago, I think. And she wants to know when somebody's deemed incompetent, and then once they're competent, how the hell, her words, do they remember what happened? So I think what you mean by that is you're thinking that if they were incompetent before, then they don't really know what went on, which may or may not be the case. But my personal opinion, guys, you tell me if it's different. I think it's more about them understanding what's happening now than them necessarily understanding what's happening in the past, what happened in the past. Because, for example, we see all the time people that at least claim that they were just drunk off their rear ends when whatever happened and they can't remember anything, but it doesn't absolve them of the responsibility.
Right.
But they
There's-
understand what's going on now.
They still
Right.
they still have to have evidence, and so as long as
Yeah.
they have sufficient evidence that they committed the crime, I think they can proceed. But the only thing I think that they have to understand the defendant, that is, and that's why they have to be brought up to competency, is that they have to understand the nature of the charges against them. And if they don't
Mhm.
understand that, they can't move forward. So that's why they have to be brought up to
Yeah,
competency.
it's
Yeah.
much more about making sure the defendant is aware
Of
of
what's going on. now.
everything around them, of the proceedings, of what they're facing, and less about them having any recall of what happened. Because if you have someone in full-on psychosis, it's highly unlikely they're going to remember what they may or may not have done, but they're also not going to understand. And once they come back down from that, again, they probably won't remember what happened or have a clear memory at all. But they'll be able to know, like, okay, I'm in court and this is why, and this is what's happening, and that's who's talking to me.
Yeah.
Right, and often that somebody that has been deemed incompetent and then had their competency restored,
Yeah.
they're not going to testify. I mean, usually we don't see defendants testify very often anyway, but especially in that kind of a situation, I don't think you're going to see that.
Right. He's
And
gonna.
they'll stay silent.
The lawyer's gonna keep the client quiet as much as he can at that
Sure.
point.
Much as any of them can.
Yep.
Sometimes it
And
doesn't
by
work
the way,
that way, though.
Yeah.
That's
That's why I
true.
said as much as he can.
And by the way, Top points out in the chat that using hell is clean language for her. So thank you for cleaning up your language, Todd, when you submitted the question. And I'll buy into that because you were talking about how you didn't egg in high school before the show started. So I have no idea what directions you go into with your thought patterns. But
Yes. I never
Anyways.
egged, but I did saran wrap. We saran wrapped a lot of cars.
that also potentially means a couple of things. So cool.
As long as you don't,
No, God, no.
as long as you don't run over your principal, run over your teacher with your car, I think you're fine.
Or your principal.
No, there wasn't any of that.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good.
We
Yeah.
did spork a teacher's lawn.
You did what?
Yeah, like went to her lawn and stuck thousands of sporks.
I've not heard of that one.
That's
No,
You were-
that's new.
You were creative.
must be is that a Leelanau County thing? Is that
Oh, that was a band kid thing.
Oh,
it's gonna be in the
Well.
blotter.
I missed that memo.
I don't even think that was in Leelanau. I think that was technically in Grand Traverse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Working the lawn.
Yep.
I thought, I mean, I'll tell you what, this has been a weird week. I've heard about sporking the lawn, and yesterday Michelle and I watched a high-speed chase through Grand Forks, North Dakota. I don't know what's going on in the world today.
I mean,
Isn't there only like one road there?
Well, it's,
There's
Grand
two.
Forks is, they have 2 gates at their airport. 2.
Really?
Yes.
Wait,
They have an airport?
Oh, yeah. It's by the way, it's not just an airport. Hold on. It is Grand Forks International Airport.
Well,
Oh.
Canada. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So are the gates marked like coming and going? Is that how they work?
it's literally 1 and 2, but you only ever land and take off from 1. 2 is for like cargo and stuff.
Ah.
Ah,
Gotcha.
So Now I don't know if that's changed since for a while, but the last time I was there, that's how it was. So
Interesting.
it's not quite Lindsay's Leelanau County, but Grand Forks is relative. I mean, there's I think between there and East Grand Forks, it's probably 60,000-70,000 people, but
There's Allegiant Air flies to Las Vegas, Orlando, and Phoenix Mesa, and a Delta connection down here to the Twin Cities, and that's what you can get out of Grand Forks.
Yep. Yeah, it used to be Northwest Airlines as well, but we all know what happened to that.
They got absorbed into the Delta.
Yep. I loved Northwest, by the way. I miss
Back when
those
airs
days.
were
I
good.
really do.
Back when
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no loving of airlines anymore.
no.
I know. Yeah. I mean,
still
Southwest
want a
was
cheaper
kind of my
option.
last was sort of my last bastion for airlines that I liked, and they've decided to go that direction too. The big just turn everything as unfriendly as possible.
But even with little tiny Leelanau County, we have 6 gates at Cherry Capital
Wow.
Airport. It's
Wow.
not even international, Cherry Capital Airport. Year round between Traverse City and Chicago, Traverse City and Detroit, and then during the summer we get during the winter you get all the Fort Lauderdale and Phoenixes of the world. Then in the summer you get Dallas, Boston, Charlotte, New York, LaGuardia, Philly, Washington, Atlanta, and Denver. All the people
Oh,
coming
wow.
on vacation.
Yes.
Oh
Can't
yeah,
tell you
it
how
makes
many
sense to
gates
have more
Atlanta
gates
has.
there because that's God's country up there.
Yeah.
I desperately need to get onto the peninsula and get me some wine here someday soon. Because we've been out of supply of that good wine for several years now, and that's no good.
Oh no.
I have to fix that. All right, other question. This one submitted anonymously from somebody named Lindsay G. We're losing 2 notable streaming judges at the end of the year, Middleton and Boyd. How do you think that will impact the LawTube space? Well, I don't know. Maybe we should let Lindsay answer that first.
That's why I asked you guys.
I don't think it will. I mean, there was a whole lot of questions when Fleischer went away for all that time about what would happen. And we just all kept going.
Yep.
I think the bigger worry to the LawTube space is all of the AI channels that keep popping up and continuing to fight against that.
Yep.
The people running YouTube now seem to like propping up these brand new channels, especially ones that are outside of the United States. So that's a concern and something we have to continue to fight through. But I don't, the judges come and go just like in everything else,
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what
and
I
I
was
mean-
going to say. Mm-hmm.
and people move on. I mean, we really have with Fleischer. I mean, he's back now, but it's 1 calorie diet Fleischer, and it's not as good. And it doesn't draw the views. You look at places like American Courts, for example, they're not getting anything. And trying to show him, and even the fake Fleischer channel is not going gangbusters with it.
Yeah.
Right.
It may take a dip for a little bit in the LawTube space,
Yeah.
but as soon as another judge comes in, that
Yeah.
there will never be another Middleton, but somebody who is similar to Middleton, it'll pick back up again. And
Right.
Yeah, but
my
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 worry though is, will the new judges want to stream though? And I know with the Boyd case with that new Stephanie, she doesn't want to stream. She's made that clear. So I think it comes down to that. Do they want to stream or not? Are they pro or against it? There's really not a we have some judges that are in between, but not many. So
Yeah, that was kind of my thought, is like Judge Boyd is really our only peek into that particular corner of Texas and like what we see out of San Antonio. So I was just kind of curious, like
we do have
obviously know
one
her
other
successor won't. Who's the other one?
Bear County Jail Court. And I've
Oh.
gone there once or twice.
Okay.
They're not as consistent with their streaming, and I shy away from it a little bit because they tend to pull up a lot of paperwork on screen.
Oh, yeah.
So I worry about showing that in, doxing somebody.
Ah, that one.
Mhm.
So that's the challenge there, but there are options, at least an option at the moment. I want to find out, and I've been meaning to reach out to ask, and I just haven't had the chance yet. But Timothy George is going to be the one who takes Middleton's seat, and
Mhm.
we've seen him on the lawyer side in that court before. And I want to reach out to him and ask him what his position is on streaming, because I don't think he's said. But I never heard him object to being streamed
Right.
when he was in
Right.
Middleton's court.
Yeah.
So my initial impression is he's not like hard and fast against it, but
Yep.
Yeah.
And I
Who
always
knows
felt
for
he
sure.
seemed pretty comfortable in the court. It basically like it wasn't there, where
Yeah.
some judges or judges and attorneys get so focused on their being recorded that they don't want to. They choose their words a lot more carefully.
Yeah. So Todd, Austin answered your question, but just to kind of pull it onto the chat, Todd asked, do you think the streaming is what hurt her being Judge Boyd? And yeah, the opponent came out and said that the streaming she was more worried about playing up to the cameras, and she was looking for justice for the victims by not exploiting them and putting them on YouTube. And that was basically what she campaigned on and got her.
yeah.
Even though Boyd does not show victims on the camera and things like that.
No.
So yeah, it was inflated for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
While we're on that, we talked here on Sidebar. We did a small segment when she lost,
Mm-hmm.
and I posted that as a separate video that still gets daily comments and daily views. And it is amazing how many people piss and moan about Judge Boyd and how horrible she is, and how she's just showboating for the camera and all this kind of stuff. And there's two things that stick out for me. First off, I watch a lot of Boyd because of what I do, and I never got the opinion that she was showboating as much as she's incredibly opinionated. She
Mhm.
knows what
Yep.
she thinks, and she stands by it, and you're not going to knock her off of that pedestal that
Right.
she's on with regards to her beliefs. And as somebody who also tends to be that way, I kind of respect that personally.
Yep.
But the other thing that gets me is the amount of people that complain about how horrible she is, yet they know so much about how horrible she is, so they have to have binge watched her.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Makes no sense.
As someone that is unapologetically pro Judge Boyd, I have certainly been critical of a few bad decisions, but that doesn't, a bad decision does not a bad judge make.
Yeah.
Just because you disagree doesn't mean they're a bad judge. I agree with Dan that she's very opinionated. You may not always agree with her position, but I think it's a weird dichotomy too. People are like, we need more tough judges and tough justice.
Yeah.
And then someone like Judge Boyd comes out, and I wouldn't say she's heartless or just iron fisted on everything, but I would say she's tough. All right.
Tough.
Especially,
She's
her
a felony court
probations.
judge. Yeah.
Right, but her
Massively.
probations and even her unadjudicated probation, like when she puts someone on it, they go through the ringer. It's not just you're on probation for a couple of years and and it's light and fluffy. She's tough, and that's what people say they want. But then they get that, and they'll say, she's the worst. She's too harsh, or she comes down too hard on these defendants. Blah blah blah. And it's like, well, which one is it? Like, what do you want?
Yep.
People don't always know what they want, I think. I was thinking just now too, I think some of it might be the channels that present the stuff. because Wahoo just said it brings clarity to the process, and Brian said no one here is watching this content in an exploitative way. But Boyd is one of those judges where a lot of channels kind of grabbed onto her content and they would edit it real weird and give you the cocaine bear thumbnails and all this kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
that probably changes the
perception.
Tone.
the
Mhm.
perception of what she is and what she actually does, rather than actually listening to her.
Yeah. And you
but,
have
you
this
know-
very authoritative figure who has her opinions and stands by them, and it's tough. And then she has the handbag in the back with the flowers, and sometimes that can just be too much for some people,
And
for sure.
I hate to
Right.
say this, but everybody wants to make a political statement out of everything,
Yeah.
and including judges as well.
Mhm.
I know they are, I know they are elected and everything. But some people's personalities are, it doesn't matter one way or the other. So I
Mhm.
feel like people just want to make an blame political affiliation. And that's also another thing that I've seen with Boyd too. But it doesn't make sense.
And they mislabel her all the time. They're like, these damn conservatives, blah blah blah. These conservative judges. Judge Boyd's a Democrat, you dopes.
Yep.
Like, I mean,
Yep.
you know,
It's just an excuse.
but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the crazy part is that, that's, I think that's part of the dichotomy that I mentioned is, she may be very tough on some of these defendants and she has some opinions like, hey, how about this? How about not committing crimes when you've got children?
Yeah.
And, if you were so worried about your sick mother at home, why'd you go out and rob the liquor store?
Yeah.
And I
And
don't.
then
Or
she's
she'll
the
say
heartless
things like,
bitch.
"You've got 2 babies
Right.
at home and a third one on the way, and you don't have a job. You're not supporting yourself. What are you doing?" And you're not supposed to.
It seems like
And that's
she's
what-
more on
yeah.
the defendant's side than the people that
is.
are. Yeah, she's more on the
It's-
defendant's side than anybody else. So
She's telling them what their parents or guardians or the people that were in their life as alleged authority figures should have told them at a younger age.
Yep.
She's
Yeah.
doing that and giving the harsh kind of, hey, this is how it should be. This is what you need to do. But I again, there's nothing. I don't think she's heartless. Okay, there have been times where it's just like, someone's up there and they're a 10-time felon offender and she sends them to prison and she just, that's it. She doesn't go, hey, we can go off the record and give them some spiel. She just, that's it. You're done. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck. But most of the time, I mean, she actually, not only does she take the time to give advice and to sort of help them, but sometimes, she'll even go out of her way to really explain the whole process to them. And I really think that, and I've learned some from Judge Boyd. I feel like she's, again, not saying she's perfect. I've well chronicled some of the times I've disagreed, but I think overall, she's great.
Yep.
Yeah. Because reason I like her, she holds people accountable.
Yes.
She believes that you should determine your own destiny and not be a victim, because that's the excuse. Well, I couldn't be a good boy or girl because X, Y, and Z happened to me when I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
And she doesn't buy into any of that. And honestly, that's what everybody needs to hear now.
Exactly.
Because, in excuse culture, in a victim culture, it's going to go nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. So I kind of admire it, but of course people don't want to hear it. And, that's why she's gone. It has nothing to do with the fact that she was on YouTube, other than it was something for the opponent to kind of grab onto and go, see this clip here where she said that this guy was bad.
Yep.
Leaving
Well,
out the fact that he
was
murdered like
that one-
5 people or something.
It was
And-
that
and-
one straw for her, for the other one to grab a hold of, basically.
And I
And the weird,
I have a
the
hard
weird part
time.
is,
Oh, go ahead, Nick.
oh, I was just gonna say the weird part is, Ashley, that they go jump down Judge Boyd's throat, but then like we'll post the videos of Judge O'Donnell, and he's telling these guys, you're a shithead, god damn it, he's cursing at these guys, and again he's holding people accountable, and in a much harsher tone than Boyd, and people are like, great judge, wonderful job. I don't.
Maybe it's
There's
the way they.
the one big difference between those two judges.
I know it's
Yeah.
yes.
Go there, but yeah.
Well, two big
Yes.
differences.
Well, two big differences.
Two big differences.
Yeah.
And I can't. There's something else though in the back of my mind, and I know that Boyd and Fleischer are in different counties, but I have a inkling that because of all the heat that Fleischer got, I can't. I want to think that maybe that kind of went over a little bit in a way too. I don't know. Just how since Fleischer was, they made like an example out of him per se, and everybody else were like, "Oh, what other judges stream in Texas?" type of thing. That have brought polarity to her too. I don't know. That's just something I have in the back of my mind as well.
No, she's definitely pushed back more on it than Fleischer. She's just like, well, yeah, we're not taking the YouTube stream down. And same thing with Judge West. Right. Judge West will do the same thing. They've been requests to not stream a trial, and she'll say, nope, your request is denied. And that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it seems the judges that are going to stream, they're going to stream, and
yeah.
You're just going to have to deal with it. And and I've heard a few of them even say, look, courtrooms are public.
Yep.
Exactly.
This is,
and I think
always been public.
And I think when Fleischer backed down, when he was presented, like by the attorneys and things, I think that actually made things even worse, because if he had just stood up to that pressure and just, hey, I am not streaming my court just because you don't, they would probably shut up about it, for the most part, I would think, instead of him giving in. Yeah, thought about that too.
All right, when you cave to pressure, I mean, that they smell blood in the water.
Yeah,
at that point. I mean, it's
exactly.
Well, yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you're giving into the bully. You're letting the criminal rob you. You're doing all these things because, well, just give them what they want and maybe they'll stop complaining. No, they won't. They'll just complain even more.
Right.
Twice as often and
Which
4 times as hard because you've taught them that it works.
Yep. They'll find another issue to grab at.
These are things that we should know just from raising children. You give in to your children and they're just going to demand more and more and more. You have to let them know who's in control. This is really no different,
Right?
But it's so weird. Fleischer didn't have the backbone for it to really stand up. And the other weird one for me is Judge Wolf in Tennessee.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So he went into this threatening phase, and I think I read this to you guys on one of the streams, where he was like, I'm gonna hold you, and you're gonna be prosecuted, and I'm gonna put the copyright claim in on YouTube and all this kind of stuff. And he's since backed off of that. And the new thing is that I'd really like it if you didn't. And now he gives people the option of whether they want to be streamed on YouTube. And if they want to opt out, he will end the stream.
Fleischer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't get that either. And I like the judges that stand tough on it and just say, yeah, we're going to stream. Obviously, I like it because we do that content here. But even beyond that, the arguments to not do it or to do it selectively just don't hold up for me because,
No.
like Wolf is very concerned about his content being like editorialized.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think happens with anything that you do in your courtroom?
Yeah.
Because the quote unquote mainstream media has been doing this since time began. They go into the courtroom, they listen to a case, they bring in cameras when they can, and they cut it up even more than what happens here. You get a local case that the local news covers, and you'll get what, maybe 45 seconds. We're painting a cleaner picture here of what's going on in their courtroom than what any traditional media will ever do.
Or they would write newspaper articles, back in the day, and you didn't even get to see the content, the context there. It was just written, and maybe you'd get a quote, or maybe you get a couple of quotes in there, but editorializing is just what people do. If you really want to kind of cut down on that, or in my opinion, if you want to mitigate the editorializing, put your stream out there. That way people can go and look for themselves and they can form their own opinion.
Yep.
Not rely on the opinions of others or the editing of others.
Yep. And I can't speak for what other channels do, but here I've got a pretty hard and fast rule that I rarely break. And that's that we show things in the full context from beginning to end. Yep. So you make your own judgment on it, but I'm not editorializing from I'm not going to show you this piece of the hearing standpoint. Now, yes, I will give you my opinions. Sorry, my channel, I'm going to speak from time to time, but and we have this show so you guys can speak, and it's not just me, but that's a lot different. I mean, and you're still seeing everything that goes on. So why a judge would push back on that is just beyond me.
And outside of the audio podcast where the pauses are cut out, I mean, we don't even, on the videos here on TCF, we don't even do that. I mean, everything is as is. Yeah. So you can see, I mean, all of it. I mean, some people complain about that part, like, oh, this poor editing, but I think that speaks volumes to, hey, this is the full case. You're getting everything that way. You get the context.
Yeah, I feel like the only editorializing you do, Dan, is if they're revealing like confidential information, addresses, phone numbers.
Yeah, I'll mute.
You mute that.
Yeah.
That's just common sense. That's the only editing I've noticed.
That's following YouTube's terms of service.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I try really hard to just let people see the whole story. And on the podcast side, you're right, Michael. We're editing out the pauses now, so it's a much tighter docket for everybody to listen to. But none of the content itself is edited out. It's still every word that's spoken is still heard. So, and that includes me droning on from time to time. So sorry about that.
It's your channel. You're allowed.
There you go.
This is your house.
We're all here by choice.
There you go.
The chat is talking about Judge Oakley doesn't put up with crap. And I think he's another strong player too. He holds firm in his beliefs. He talked about before Zoom, right, Dan? When Zoom came out and people were not acting as they should on Zoom, and having gripe about that. But his beliefs, he doesn't like Zoom, so he just doesn't do it. Or I haven't seen him do it. So,
He's another one for personal accountability. I put up a short, I think it was earlier today or yesterday, one or the other, and people were complaining on that one, which I expected them to, because he was talking to a 22-year-old kid, and his position was, you should be out working like 70 hours a week right now. Because you're young, you don't have any other commitments. Go make your money, put in your time now, so when you're old like me, you don't have to. And you know what? That's solid advice.
Yeah.
I
was thinking about that the other day, because we're getting into summer, and I was thinking about like when I was in college, I would work 2 jobs between between semesters, and like I hated it and I complained. And I think if someone would have said that to me at 22, I'd have been pissed off. But now sitting here at almost 41, I'm like, actually, I'm really glad I did that. And now I'm not having to work quite as hard.
Which is
a lot, but you
which
know,
is
Right.
which question about the age population of YouTube and
Mhm.
how much experience that people watching these videos actually have. And
Yeah.
it seems
Yep.
like the younger people, of course, will raise more of a fuss. They have less experience, and
yeah,
perhaps the older
Yeah.
people that don't have time to watch YouTube,
yeah,
it's not
Yeah.
being heard as well.
yeah. Or there's a level of emotional maturity too. Like just because
too.
your calendar
That could
age
be.
hits a certain number doesn't mean you've mentally kind of gotten
That's
past
true.
certain points in your life. Like
Yep.
I can think of people who are closer to my age, just like, well, I had to work like that, and I don't want my kid to have to do that, so I'm going to pay for everything, and we all know where that eventually ends up. But
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing too is like I think
Yeah.
some people that complain are people that have never really been held accountable in their own lives,
yep,
and they don't want to hear about somebody else. You know, they think that that's some sort of like terrible thing just to tell someone, "Hey,
yeah,
you're young and you're healthy.
go get it.
Go work now because you're not always going to be young and healthy."
Yeah,
And so, hey, you know, make your hay while you can. You know,
Yeah.
while the sun's shining.
yeah,
I think they're looking at
Your 20, like y'all were saying, 20s are prime time.
yeah,
Even
Yep.
even in your 30s, things start changing. Your 20s are in your
Right.
prime, so that's why he's telling him that for sure.
Well,
Keeping,
and Ashley, to answer your question about YouTube audience and how old they are that's watching this type of content, I can't speak for other channels, but I just look up the current stats over the last 28 days.
Yeah.
91% of TCF's audience is 35 or older.
wow.
That checks out.
So,
Yep.
yeah,
The
so
one
we
thing
have
I
Probably
was-
the
a more
minority.
experienced demo here.
yeah. Austin, you keep
Yeah.
trying to say
the one
something.
thing I was going to say is that they're trying to, a lot of the judges, yes, they have to give the legal speak, but they also want to help beyond that and
Yeah,
give them their points. It's
exactly.
not being a jerk or anything. It's giving them another perspective on things.
Yeah,
And people just don't like that.
Yeah.
Some people.
Advice, pretty much,
Yeah.
which nobody wants to
And
hear.
they need to hear it.
you do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
Wahoo.
there's a
Can't
reason why
work.
they're
AI
in court.
stole my jobs. Nah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, your jobs are coming back. They're learning that AI is not going to be able to take over, at least not yet.
Did you guys hear about the graduation ceremony that AI like left out like 2/3 of a graduating class?
No, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
a college
That is
graduation
hilarious.
somewhere, and they had an AI reader that was reading off names, and just they realized, they came on the mic and said, "So we only have about X number of the graduates actually listed. The rest of you are welcome to walk the stage and get your photos, but your names will not be read." And people were livid,
Oh, man.
understandably
Be
so.
livid.
That's a huge milestone.
You work
Yep.
for
That's
that.
messed up.
That is
I
was-
bad.
So I
You worked
graduated
for 4
in 20
years, and now
Gosh,
I am not
yeah.
reading your name.
I graduated in 21, and our dean, we did not have an in-person ceremony,
Oh
but he
no.
at least got on Zoom in the auditorium and read each of our names and did
Wow.
like the passing of the diploma jacket, basically. And then
Okay.
as soon as we got that, and then as soon as the in-person started back, we were invited to that. And
Okay,
I'm
that's
just
good.
so thankful. it
That's
was
cool.
Like that.
Oh God, I couldn't imagine during all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was bummed at first, and then I got a semester or two later, got the invitation, and it's like, okay.
Got your moment.
Yep.
Good.
Gotcha.
Good.
Yeah.
But at least
you know,
our dean read it in person read it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's such a
Yeah.
bummer because you work so hard for
Yeah.
that degree.
Mm-hmm.
All you get is like Zoom
Yeah.
version of it. And,
Yep.
I can only
So
imagine.
sorry. We forgot to read your name.
Oh,
Like-
I don't know how. I'm surprised nobody stepped in and put the kibosh on that and said, "Oh no, we're going to
Who
camp
would
meet
come
adults."
up with that idea in the first place?
I know.
Why?
Yeah, what's
Why?
the labor savings there? I mean, really.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
We could save a whole $25 as a college that takes in tens of millions.
And spend $35 in
what kind
tokens
of-
to
what-
have that read out.
What the
by
hell
11
college
labs.
do you go to that? What?
If I remember right, it was somewhere in Arizona.
Oh God, say it
Right.
ain't so.
What the hell college do you go to
Oh.
where they go,
Oh, don't say it's Arizona.
Are you
oh, yeah,
are
we're
you
not surprised
conflating that
ASU.
with
Could you?
the?
It was
are you
My alma
Glendale.
mater.
Glendale.
I mean,
Community
somebody else's.
College.
Certainly not mine. I would never have gone to that place.
At the University of Arizona, the former head of Google gave the speech there, and they booed him because he kept going on and on about how AI was going to transform the job landscape for everybody, and you would
Oh.
just have to adapt. And he tried to lecture the
GCC.
graduates.
All right.
No.
Oh, during graduation though? Oh no,
Uh-huh.
I would pick a
So,
different
yeah.
topic.
He got booed out of the place.
Yeah, I dropped a
Okay.
link if anyone wants to read it.
But
Yeah.
at community college, okay, well, it's still not right.
It still sucks. I mean,
Yes,
Yeah.
but I can kind of see how that might happen.
You went to community
Still.
college. You don't deserve your name read.
It still sucks though.
Yep.
Pardon my language.
yeah. I just think of the folks like go to a community college. They might be the first in their family to get any kind of
Yes.
post-secondary or even secondary education. You know, what a big moment for those families. And,
Yeah.
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 It could be a raise for somebody. It could be like a potential raise in the future for somebody or anybody that opens up for them. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't know. Everybody's racing to that tool to be something, but you need humans.
You do need humans.
Yes.
I mean, I'm proving it out here. You know, this is the non-AI channel
Right.
that in the background uses a lot of AI, but I use it to help me keep track of things, to help me sort through things.
Yeah.
Yep.
It can help me scrub transcripts in minutes rather than hours. So that is all very helpful, but it never makes an editorial decision. It never does my editing. It never makes a thumbnail, you know, because those things need human touches. You know, ultimately, I've said this before, everything that happens in the world, every business is a people business. It really is. And that most certainly includes court. You know, this, you know, whether you're there for good reasons or bad reasons, it's people interacting with people. And you can't strip that stuff out. And that's
Until we have AI judges.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have
Well.
AI attorneys.
Ooh,
Todd
that'd
had-
be fun.
Todd has a question.
Question, Dan and Michael, what made you start your pages? And then what and how did Ashley, Lindsay, and Austin start? Well, Michael, do you want to explain your start? Because you've been doing this a lot longer than me.
Well, I mean, I started long before YouTube, long before the days of YouTube. It's the late 90s.
You started on stone tablets.
Yeah. I mean, I started doing streaming on the old Shoutcast.
wow.
Back when there was like 100 stations on there, and I started doing a streaming station. And then I do live shows, like talk shows with the music and all that as well. Then it kind of started to morph into podcasting. Then I started doing the YouTube stuff with the weather content about 10 years ago. And the rest is history. I mean, so that's how I got to be here. And then Dan has a little bit of a different arc, although not completely different.
My arc is a little more rapid, perhaps, and more new than yours.
Yeah.
I spent most of my adult life out in the corporate world and developed a reputation as a teacher and a trainer. So I did a lot of interacting with people, a lot of building people up. in a lot of interaction with the public, speaking in front of large groups, all of that. And then I started working for myself about 20 years ago. And all of that stuff was mostly gone after that. And I missed it. So I started playing around with YouTube and, mild successes here and there, but nothing that really worked until one day while I was doing work out in my shop, all of a sudden the glorious YouTube algorithm decided to push me law videos, court videos. And I got into it, but I was like, you know what? I think I can bring a different flavor to this. And it was at the time where my wife's father was closer to the end of his life and he was needing more care. So I was spending a whole lot of time sitting in the other room, keeping myself available as much as I could when I wasn't off doing any other things. So I was doing a lot of work on my laptop from the dining room table. And I was like, all right, I'm sitting here anyways. So in between things, I started to make a couple of these courtroom videos. And I put up a couple of them, and in less than 24 hours, I had like 300 subs. And then in less than a month, this channel was monetized. And I couldn't believe how well it worked. So, I mean, the content combined with the way that I presented it just hit. So, and now here we are, and we don't really do it the same as we used to, but everything has to evolve.
Yep.
And I think it's better now because I get to talk to people like you rather than just talk to a microphone. So that's fun. But that's kind of how I got into it. And, this was not exactly my lifelong dream or goal to do law content. It just stumbled into it. And I try to do it justice. I try to be fair to the content and to everybody as much as I can. And hopefully I do it well.
Yeah.
But I'm nowhere near the pro that Michael is. Michael is a pro. I am not. I'm just some dude that talks into a microphone. But and that also I think gives a human element that probably helps this channel too. So
And-
Well then, and also as to how Lindsay and Ashley and Austin got here, they were all viewers of the channel,
Yep.
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
sort of back almost a year ago, several,
was last summer.
10 months ago or so, the concept for this show that you're seeing now got brought up, and we just decided, hey, let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens.
Yep.
I mean, and Lindsay wasn't part of the original cast anyway, but Lindsay
neither was
eventually,
Austin.
yeah, and neither was Austin, but both expressed an interest, and and then here we are. I mean,
Yeah, it's
So-
interesting. That's it.
Yeah.
That's interesting to bring back. I was going through a lot of life, and was actually a little bit unemployed during the summer. And that's when this place. I come from the true crime side of YouTube, and was a true crime junkie. And then I got recommended Dan a little bit in. So I became a subscriber to meet Michael and people of the channel. And yeah, we kind of came up with this idea that, hey, it'll be cool if we can share our opinions. We're kind of like a little bit like minds and opinions, but we thought
Yep.
good at it. So went to Dan, and Dan's like, okay, give it a shot, and Dan ran with it. We appreciate Dan very much for
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
channel,
We do.
for
Well,
our show.
well,
Yeah.
thank you, but I appreciate you guys more than I think you appreciate me, because this doesn't happen without the audience. And
Yeah.
honestly, this show is my favorite thing that I do here. I think I like it even more than the morning show, to be honest with you, because it's the community's idea and not mine.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. I mean, it's and it, if I may too, because this is something that I really enjoy. We proved for the 2 weeks that I was on vacation, for example, too, back in October, November, that we've built something here community wise that when I was gone, it just kept going.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
that's just super cool.
Yeah.
Not only that you guys have my back, but it's something that's become bigger than just me. And
Yeah.
that's one of the ways I've always defined winning, is when something evolves past just myself. That's one of the things that I loved when I was teaching and training, was I would see people who would move on and become better than what I was.
Mhm.
And so this is kind of a similar kind of feel, and I like it a lot. So
Well, and my arc and how I kind of came into the channel is I moved to where I'm living now about 3 years ago and started a job that was primarily working from home. And I would put YouTube on during the day as kind of like background noise, and started getting really involved with like the chats and different channels. And my kind of entry point, I had watched a lot of anti-scam commentary, and with certain pyramid-shaped companies were experiencing lots of lawsuits, and they noticed I was watching, videos about like, oh, this company's been taken to court and this company's been taken to court. This woman must like court. And then I got fed that content. And I actually was one of those folks that would watch American Courts, Judge Fleischer restreams. And when that went down, I think that day I found TCF, and within like 10 minutes I was subscribed.
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, and I was originally only supposed to be an alternate on the Sidebar panel, but they liked me enough. They basically invited me to be regular cast about my second episode.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it was we were only a couple of episodes in, and I
Yeah.
think you reached out and was like, "Can I join?"
yeah.
And
Told me no at
time,
first, and then you said, "Actually,
Yeah.
we need you because Ashley's going to be out next week."
Yeah, yeah.
well,
had to
at the
be out.
time, I asked you to hang tight.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
that was
mind
it.
the idea, but I wanted to continue to
Yeah.
prove the concept before
Yeah.
we started changing out the people.
Yeah, you
Yep.
needed that core of you to really be tight before you brought in a wild card.
Yep.
Yep.
Then he took the
And
ultimate
now I
chance
can't
and
imagine
brought
doing
me
it
in.
without you.
Yeah,
Actually,
we brought Austin in.
Lindsay became involved because I got a new job
Mhm.
late part of last year, and I had to go on different training calls and different staff calls, and sometimes it would be during TCF. So I remember all of that, and that's when Lindsay kind of stepped in, and she's here to stay. Well, hopefully
Yeah.
she is here to stay. Yes.
With
Austin,
occasional
your turn.
guest appearances on the other channel now too.
Yes. In the blind.
But we
Yep.
can all
You
sort
had
of hot
you had a
swap
lot
around.
of fun doing that show.
Yeah.
You did.
That was
Yeah.
that was some of the most smiling I think I've seen you do.
Yeah.
I was there were topics that day were so perfect for me too. I'm like, yes, here we go.
Yeah, it worked out.
Right.
Oh,
And we all sort of hot swap around, because I'll fill in for Dan on the morning show, and then Lindsay will fill in for me on In the Blind. So it's like
It's
so
the
we're
shell game with people.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
The musical
Well-
chairs, musical hosts.
Todd's asking about you now, Austin.
Yeah, so one of the original cast members stepped away from the show, and through being in the chats for the morning show and this show, Dan asked me if I'd be interested in being an alternate at times, and got started, and here I am.
And he's the only one of us with actual legal background,
Yes.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
which is
I'm
why
not
we're
an
like, oh
attorney,
yeah,
though."
Austin, he knows this stuff.
And that's what's
Nope.
so
I'm
cool
sup-
about us. We all come from different backgrounds and different experiences. So that's what I really like about this group. I can piggyback ideas or think about and they change my perspective on things too. So I really like
Yep.
it.
Well, this is how it should work. I've said it before. People with different backgrounds, different ideas, all of that, but we still come together and we have intelligent, friendly discussion. Even when we disagree, there has not been a single time where we have parted angry.
Mm-mm.
No.
Not once.
No.
And
And I've
You
said
know
it
what?
before. It's
How it should
because
be.
we're seeing each other's faces.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Well-
easy when it's just your screen name and a keyboard to fire things off. But because I'm hypothetically speaking, looking you in the eye, I remember that's a human I'm talking to.
Yep.
Well, and I mean, it's always good to even when we I still like to. It's just fun to make people laugh with just the off colored the weird comments and the I enjoy that. I enjoy saying something that gets Austin to laugh or gets Ashley or Lindsay just the random it's just sometimes the most random thing just gets us going, and that's what I enjoy most about doing a show like this is it's not just the topics, but it's the personalities and just being able to sometimes just laugh at the absurdity of all of it.
Yep.
I think we've all grown, or at least myself. I can't speak for everybody else, but I have certainly grown as an individual from starting this group. I used to be terrified of public speaking and could not talk on camera, alone talking in front of people. Terrified, very introverted person. But I think it's because of TCF that I got more comfortable talking in front of people. If you see our earlier videos taught, you'll know what I mean. But I've definitely have kind of come into my own, and I really like that too, and actually helped me for my current job. So I like how it came full circle for that for me.
Ashley was the Calvin Coolidge of this show when we first started it.
That's true.
Great reference.
Yeah.
No, I mean, since I even joined the cast, Ashley has just so come out of her shell. It's been really fun to watch.
Yeah, Lindsay was right out of the bat. She was like just pumping.
Yeah, just came in swinging.
And I was like, well, how does she do that? And I think
she's
it's just
in sales.
Yeah, she's in sales and she has that confidence about her. I'm like, I need to work on that type of thing. So you just work on yourself and you get there. Yep. And even Austin has come out as well. I know you were terrified as well, Austin. And
I really was at first.
Yeah. So it's awesome.
Yeah, I think we've all grown. I mean, I have too. The biggest thing that I had to wrap my brain around, even before I did this show, when I was doing other things on YouTube, was, I spent the majority of my life in front of live people. So I would feed off of that feedback and off of that energy, which isn't there in the same way when you're doing this. So I had to relearn some things, how to communicate and how to find that same kind of energy and whatnot. So if you look at the content that I did when this show first started, the Sidebar and the morning live show, when I was putting myself on camera, which initially we didn't do here, it's not the same. It's a lot different. And I've learned a lot from Michael, to be honest, from that standpoint, because Michael brings the broadcast professional,ism. And yes, I've stolen as much from you as I can.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm necessarily the standard you should set yourself to there, Dan, but I do appreciate it.
Oh yes, you are, because I remember the day you first showed up in our chat here.
Yes.
And I engaged you, and you said, "Well, I do weather videos." Like, cool. So then I went and looked at your stuff, and my jaw dropped, and I was like, "Oh my god, this guy is like broadcast perfection."
Broadcast professional. So sometimes you just gotta do that.
Impressionist.
And again, it's very confident in what he does. And
I've had a lot of practice, a lot of trial and error.
You've influenced me a lot too, Michael. I mean, everyone has in some sort of way. So I really admire this group a lot.
Yeah, dude, I walked away from your first video, and I just thought to myself, man, I suck.
That's silly. Well, that's weird, because when I came here, I was like, oh, this guy's, I got fed stuff because of other shows. I've mentioned this a lot, but because of other, I don't know, I just started getting fed court stuff, and then sooner or later, Dan's content came in, and then how it works is you watch a video and you get another and you get another and you get another. And most of them were just Dan's channel, just, stuff from last October, November, December. Before I knew it, because I work when I'm working on stuff, it's hours at a time. So I've gone through most of Dan's catalog, and then I see, oh, there's a live show. All right, I'll check out the live show. And then I started participating in the chat, and I was like, well, screw it. I'll support the channel. I binged almost all the content here. I might as well pay the $2.99 for the membership. Jeez, So that's the genesis of how all this started. So for me anyway, on this channel, and now I don't. Not to say I never watch any of those other channels that I used to watch, because some of them are still there, and I want to support the human driven guys and the ones that aren't dicks, which means there's only like a couple other channels to watch, but I do appreciate that too. It's like, and I noticed that was the other thing I noticed pretty quickly, is that, boy, this LawTube space is getting taken over by AI. Like crazy. The news and the LawTube space are just it's becoming so AI heavy. And that's why I really wanted to support human driven content as well.
And I think even the true crime sector too is very AI heavy now.
Definitely.
So that's why I was kind of put off by that, and that's why I kind of wanted to try something new.
Well, you know what's weird about the true crime thing, and we've sort of talked about it in the LawTube space too. There's a lot of these channels now that are just putting up true crime stories that aren't even true crime. They're just fiction that they made up to sound like true crime. But when you go to look up the data and the information and stuff, it's all bullshit. It's all complete nonsense. And we've even seen that in LawTube. There's some like court cases where, and it's very obvious when they do this, especially for LawTube, but they'll splice together or have AI just, AI voice generate and video some court case that didn't happen. And, maybe it's parody. I don't know. It seems like it's got to be, but then some people actually believe that it's real. It's weird. It's weird. So that's another reason I just appreciate all this, and I appreciate everybody that watches, because you're supporting, human-driven content, just like on my channel. There's less AI weather stuff, but it's still there. It's still very much there. So, I appreciate the human interaction while we still have it.
Yes.
Well, we're going to maintain it here for as long as we can. And if there becomes a time where we can't, we'll just stop, because I have no desire to turn this into AI garbage. I mean, look,
we'll carry on with AI. It'll just be AI Mike and Dan and Ashley and Lindsay and Austin.
No, it will not.
Can you imagine?
So it is about time to go, but I do want to point out, we're sitting here talking about how we got our beginnings here and everything else. This was number 70 of the show already.
Wow.
Crazy if you think about it. 70 episodes.
It is crazy.
And tomorrow morning is live show number 300.
Wow.
Right.
Which is crazy to me.
I'm coming up on 3,000 videos over on my channel, so we're all hitting milestones.
Yeah. So, yay for human content, because
yay people.
I will say this, because the AI stuff does not last. Those channels come and go.
They do.
They don't stick. So
there's nothing unique about them, and you guys need to join us for episode 300 tomorrow for sure.
Yes, please.
We'll
Actually, if you stick around when we end this stream, it will take you to that, so you can set your reminder for tomorrow morning.
Yes.
All right. Final thoughts, Michael. Anything?
Yes. Speaking of human content, there's also cat content. There's Freya. Freya decided that she wanted to come in and just say hello very quickly. So, see, this is just another aspect of this channel, is the cats take over.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
They've taken over Dan, even Ashley's cat,
Yeah.
Sabrina.
Yeah.
Been around.
Sometimes.
We've heard Lindsay's dogs.
I just shut them out today because they're wound up.
So
Was it Tuesday that Ellie was like perched right at the camera,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah, it's like looking
Yeah.
up
Yep.
at it.
engaged in the conversation and sniffing?
Yep.
Ellie, what are your thoughts?
yeah.
That knows.
Yeah.
Yep.
So no, my final thought here again is, as always, I appreciate everybody for participating, for sending in their questions, for always hanging out with us, being there for us for this show, for TCF, even our other show, In the Blind with Mike and Dan, all of that, my weather stuff. I appreciate all the support that you guys continue to give us. And we look forward to another 70 episodes. So thank you once again, everybody.
Yes.
I agree. Austin, anything?
Thanks everybody for all the questions and love being here. And yeah, I don't know.
Fair enough. Ashley?
I kind of zoned out.
I'm so glad we started this once a month thing with just not having a structure. At first, it terrified me because I love structure. But I like it without the structure. I like to hear from all of you guys for your questions and supportive. It truly does mean a lot, and you are all very valuable to the channel. So thank you so much, and hopefully we see you tomorrow.
Yeah, well, in fairness, Ashley, I get what you're saying, but it's not like we normally follow the structure anyways.
That's true.
No.
That's true.
Some sort of structure to begin with, at least.
Fair
Even
enough.
the train is saying hello.
I know it.
Who's got the
Whose train is that?
It's Austin's.
Yeah. Austin's got the
train.
train going by.
All right, good for him.
I
Yeah.
love
Lindsay,
the
final
train.
thoughts?
Trains are my favorite.
I mean, I kind of second what everyone else says. Like, this is the most fun I have outside of curling season, like during my week, is just like coming on and hanging out with you guys. And I got into a discussion with another group actually last night about online and virtual friendships. And I think they're very real, especially this day and age where so much of interaction is done, over the great World Wide Web. But I've met some amazing people and developed some really real relationships and never actually sat down across the table from any of you. So appreciate you all. Thank you for coming and listening to us two nights a week and hanging out in the chat in the mornings.
Haven't sat across the table yet, but we'll fix that with all of you at some point.
Yeah,
Just
it'll
give
happen.
it time. So yeah, I guess I'll just end by saying thank you to everybody. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. This is like probably the coolest thing that I've ever done. I think I was telling you guys, telling a couple of you anyways, before the show started, maybe it was just you, Austin, but that I can be having the worst day. And today was not a great day for me, but as soon as I turn the camera on, everything's cool. And it's just,
This is why it's Sidebar.
it's home.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. And it's something that I never expected to have because, again, this wasn't a plan. I didn't just say, you know what, I'm gonna figure out how to do LawTube. No, it just kind of came to me and got put in front of me, and I tried it, and it just took off. And this has been the greatest thing because I've been able to meet and interact with all of you. So thank you for that. And the fact that it helps support the family doesn't hurt either. It's like a bonus. So
Yeah.
it's very much appreciated. All that having been said, time to shut up. We will see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific, a half an hour earlier if you're a channel member. Lindsay, do we have blotter tomorrow?
Yes, and it'll be a blind reading because I saw that there is a blotter, but I haven't read any of the entries yet.
Perfect.
Ooh.
So
Ooh,
I'm
I
going
like
to be
that.
reacting in real time. Usually I pre-read and pick out the ones I want to do. So I'm reacting in real time with all of you.
All right. So yeah, channel members show up for the pre-show. All right, everybody. Good night.
Have a good night.
Good
y'all.
night.
Everyone,
Good night.
bye.
Thank you.